Folks, how are you? How are you today? How is everyone doing today? Chronic pain and a demon in the house. Is there enough lighting for you or is too much lighting? Let me know. My dark face, let me know. It's too much lighting. I changed the lighting for y'all. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Let me know. Chronic pain is in the house. Let me change the lighting for you if it's too much lighting so we can get the show started. Yeah, moving around, getting the show started, getting official. It's been a few days. I have been off for a few days, just unwinding and just collecting my thoughts. You know how the elderlies do: collect your thoughts and gather your thoughts and come back. But I've seen some disturbing things while I was away gathering my thoughts. And folks, we're going to get it started. So I want you folks to come on in the chat room. My name is Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain, the Inner Demon. Come on in the chat room. Don't be afraid to chat. Let's talk about it. Let's be about it. Today, I just see on the screen the massacre up in Buffalo, New York. So let's get it going, folks. But before you get it going, just remember, when you come in the chat room, give me a thumbs up. Share the video if you can. Like the videos. Leave your comments as well. When you finish watching the video, I will appreciate your comments, one and all. Okay? Yes, folks. So once again, Chronic Pain is in the house. Let's go. We want to get this going.
Shooting at a supermarket in Buffalo. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Moore. Right now, police tell us a suspect is in custody. This story is still unfolding. Details coming in at this hour as law enforcement responds to the scene in Western New York. CBS 2's Leah Mishkin has been following all the developments. She's live in our newsroom with the very latest there. Leah.
Yeah, Jessica, police in Buffalo are holding a press conference right now. The mayor says the shooter, who is now in custody, traveled hours to commit this crime on Buffalo residents. Buffalo's police commissioner says the shooter was heavily armed and had tactical gear and a tactical helmet on. Police say a total of 13 people were shot in what they're calling a racially motivated attack. 10 people died on the scene at the Tops Market on Jefferson Avenue. One man heard the gunshots and saw the shooter.
He was doing this when I seen him because you can see inside the store. And so I saw him doing this. And I'm like, I don't got a phone on me. So I'm like, I'm screaming, somebody call the police.
The governor, who is heading to Buffalo, tweeted she's closely monitoring the situation, adding, "We have offered assistance till..."
Yes, folks, once again, Chronic Pain is in the house. This is a very disturbing case that we have to take on as bloggers, YouTubers, just to bring the awareness to others who are not up to what's going on via news or via YouTube, as far as the elements around us, the things around us, the demons around us, the elements around us, the things around. Yeah, the demons around us. And we have to be aware of what's going on in our surrounding. Now, let me let's get into it, folks. Let's get into it. Now, this young man, obviously, a 18-year-old young man. So let's start there, okay? 18 years old. I mean, I assume live with the parents, have no bills, have no real issues going on as far as financial, but there was a hiccups in your life at one point where in your high school that you made a threat that you feel like harming other people and yourself as well. And I'm referring to Mr. Peyton Gordon in Buffalo, New York. What you did in New York, that is a massacre, and that's, to me, is terrorism. That's where we see terrorists at its best. Because one of the reasons why I say that, you study mass shootings, You left a manifesto on how you study your mass shootings. You prey on the innocents, which is the older black community that can't stand up for themselves, going to church, going to the supermarket. So obviously you did your research on these people, these folks. So sad of you, so sad of you. People are going about their business on Sunday shopping after church, getting their extra groceries that they forgot to get. And here comes Lucifer trying to disrupt their lives. Sadly, we lost 10 people. 13 people were wounded. But this young man, this young animal, wherever they're breathing from, he actually premeditated what he did. I saw his high school transcript from the police department where he made reference to hurting kids or hurting someone in high school and then offing himself. They gave him like 4 or 5 hours of psychiatric evaluation, send him home. After in high school, this young man said he want to harm himself and bring harm to others. They gave him 4 to 5 hours of psychiatric evaluation, then send him home. Now, folks, you tell me if that's not hypocrisy in front of your eyes unfold. Because this young man has been dealing with a demon before the age 18. Because if at age 18, you are going to commit these heinous crimes, that means that demon has been living inside of you longer than 18 years, young man. I don't mention his name a lot because I'm not giving him no credit. You know, his first name is Peyton. Some of these young people that commit these atrocity, these massacres on this earth, they're looking for fame, glamour, glory, strikes, and when people search them on the internet, clicks and views. This is not about clicks and views. This is about lives that you're taking from innocent people, which is so wrong and so evil. A young man at your age have no business studying about the white supremacy, studying about active evil. A young man of your age should be more ambitious, thinking about what you want to be in life as far as furthering yourself, raising a family, and having a decent career. Instead, you chose a life where you want to raise hell upon innocent people. This is sad, folks. Very sad. Very, very sad. There is nothing here that, this is just very sad. There's nothing here that I can say or do to help these families that are going through what this young man has putting them through. Nothing. And the funny thing about it is, he is not from Buffalo. This young man is not from Buffalo. Came to Buffalo, drove over 200 miles, almost 300 miles to commit a massacre in Buffalo. And why Buffalo, may I ask? Because Buffalo have a demographic of people of color? Is that why Buffalo was chosen? Because of its demographics? Even though I see clearly where this was racially motivated, but I'm just trying to be facetious. This was premeditated, pre-planned, and a young man with an agenda to commit atrocity upon these people in Buffalo, New York. You heard about some of these young men, giving people a ride to the grocery store. Some of these young men, actually, there was a security guard that contested this young man trying to help save lives, shot at him, but this young man was in tactical gears, so it was able to respond to the security guard, and the security guard succumbed to his wounds. So this man planned everything, premeditate everything. This man had 3 guns, a Bushmaster. And folks, if you don't know what a Bushmaster is, look up a Bushmaster. A lot of people talk about an AK-47. Yeah, I got my AK-47, I got my this, but a Bushmaster modified, there is nothing like that. And this young man had a Bushmaster plus 2 other guns. And this Bushmaster was modified, so it fired automatically. 18 years old, folks. Bear in mind, 18 years old. 3 guns, a Bushmaster and 2 other guns, fully tactical gear, very armed to conduct the act of evil. Where did he get this from? We need to find out. Where did he get his philosophies from? We need to find out. His teaching, his learning, his rhetoric, all that is important for the law to find out, because you know why? The same place he get his rhetoric from could groom others. So we need to nip it in the butt ASAP. I speak it real on this channel. We need to nip it in the butt ASAP, because these young kids are radicalizing at a fast pace, bringing forth these acts of evil upon us at a high pace, radicalizing themselves on the internet. You don't need people like in a surrounding of a crowd today to radicalize yourself. A lot of these young folks are radicalizing themselves on the internet with false leaders, people with like wrong narratives, derailing them from their real truth and their foundation, stealing them away from their childhood, captivating their mind, brainwashing them, having them committing the act of evil upon this earth. Because I'm telling you, some of these kids behind them, there are people who are funding these evil that's going on around this earth. There are people that are funding, and if they're not funding, they're fueling it with their algorithm, their rhetoric, and certain networks, and also certain social media sites that are encouraging this type of behavior upon certain gender and also certain ethnicity, which is totally wrong. Totally wrong. So, folks, if you ask me what's going on today, yes, we do have a big issue with the mental stability of kids, because any child that went through 2019 to 2020, 21, 22, any child that was caved in the house, I'm sure has some type of mental issues dealing with. It's just us as parents have to catch them at the roof and try to get them back to grounded areas where they could understand that, you know what's going on right now is hard to explain. I'm trying to find out myself, but let's try to work it out, and let's not do nothing devious and nothing. Hey, how are you guys doing in the chat? And nothing monstrous like what we're seeing going on in California, Buffalo, other places around the world. This is ludicrous. This is insane. Young kids at 18 years old committing massacres in mass numbers, year in, year out. America, what are we breathing? What are we breathing? We're trying to correct other people's problems. But what about our problems here at home that are killing us, stifling us? We're trying to correct other people's problems. But what about our wounds that we have been licking for years? Don't get me started. This is atrocious. I hate to have to come here and talk about stuff like this, but it needs to be talked about. It needs to be heard. Very sad. I can't understand a person this young with so much hate. I just don't get it. When I was 18, I was more full of life. I was all about fashion, ladies, my goals in life. At 18 now, you're thinking about assassinating people? Don't even care how you live or how you die? Is that the new norm, guys? Young folks, comment down below. Don't be afraid to comment down below, young folks. Let me hear from you. Is this the new norm that you're bringing forth upon us? I am a man of a certain age, over 50. I am not afraid to hide my age. And you know what? With all this happened, where's the Black Lives Matters team that comes out in March when you see a person of color get killed by a Caucasian? Where's the Black Lives Matter today where we see so many people of color getting killed by their own kind and also by other kinds? Black Lives Matters. You need to march when people are killed by your own kind as well. You need to let that be known. You need to let the facts be known to this world that we don't uphold evil, good over evil. If you have a foundation, use it to your ability, not to your profit. I have yet to make $1 on YouTube, but you know what? My voice is going to be heard. I have Cash App, I have Super Chats, but I have yet to make $1. But you know what? I want to make a difference first. The dollar could come later. I want to make a difference first because enough is enough. Enough is enough. All these bomb stock, modifying weapons, and because of the NRA, it's allowed and it can't be speak about because of their donation and their lobbyists to all these good old boys. Folks, just remember one thing, okay? Presidents are not elected. Presidents are selected. These wicked, evil people, you never know if they're behind this Buffalo shooter. God forgive me. You never know what led this young man down this path. God forgive me. You never know the influence he took. God forgive me. You know, where we get his rhetoric from to commend, to bring forth this act of evil in people, church-going people, food shopping people. People are thinking about their family, grandparents, grandfathers, grandmothers. People have things to live for. You want to take their innocent lives? Because of what? The hatred at your age at 18? What do you know about the ancestors and slaveries for you to have so much hatred inside of you at age 18? I am 50 years old and I don't have the type of hatred or rage. And I've seen it all. I've studied it all. 18 years old. And what are they going to do with you because you're Caucasian? Say that you're mentally unstable and put you into a psychiatric home. Look at what happened in Parkland, Florida. The assassination in Parkland, Florida. This young man, another young man, 17 years old, he assassinated 17 people and wounded many others. Now he pleaded to the 17th murder, and now you see where his sentence is going through the court system right now as we speak, as far as how many years he's supposed to spend behind bars. So a lot of these guys, they go out, they look at these other guys who did all these horrendous crimes, and then they become infatuated by these crimes, study these crimes, and carry out these stupid, massive massacres on this earth, which I don't understand, kids, because what are you trying to prove? Go to school, join the military. What are you trying to prove? There's so much at your fingertips as far as good is concerned. I see America today just going down the drain with the gang violence, just going down the drain. The RICO Act is killing Black America today. The RICO Act is killing Black America today. And I'm talking about Black America in the music industry who are losing millions. You make millions, but then you have to pay millions for lawyers to defend you from the stupid stuff that you do, and also the way you talk about your crimes on social media. So you basically do a crime and give yourself away at the same time. I don't understand this young world. And young men, Mr. Payton, what possessed you to go into a place where people are at peace, shopping for themselves and their family? What possessed you to see elderly folks and pray on them the way you did this past weekend? There's no glory for you, man. As young as you are, you're barbaric. You're a savage in my book. I don't give a fuck. Enough is enough, man. I'm tired of talking to these young fucking kids. They don't listen. They don't listen. They're being driven by what? The media from different sites that condone this bullshit. Their rhetoric. A lot of it is media driven. And it costs lives. Places like Fox News. Fox News uphold a lot of shit. People need to hold accountable for what they put out. Allegedly. Let me not get sued today. I'm just pissed off. I'm tired. Enough is enough. I'm tired. Tired of being tired. Tired of seeing folks getting mass murder for no reason. Look at California in church over the weekend as well. California. So over the weekend we have 2 mass murders, 2 massacres over the weekend. For what? For what? There is so much at these young folks' outlet in America to do positive stuff. So why are you being so horrendous? Why are you being so evilous? Why are you so easy to be mind controlled? Why are you so devious? You know, in school, they used to have Bibles when I was going to school in school. I used to go to Sunday school. You know, I grew up in church most of my life when I was a youngster. You know, when I got to 18, I started, hanging out with my girlfriends and whatnot, But I still read the Bible. And I still, at least I have the foundation from my mother. When I see these young folks growing up, when I had my daughter in school, I think when my daughter was in middle school, and my daughter is 30 years old right now. She's a high school teacher. When she was in middle school, that's when they started taking Bibles out of school. And then I started wondering, What's the reason why they're taking Bibles out of school? Because that was like, to me at the time, I didn't get it. I was trying to figure out why. Then, because my wife and I at the time, I was married. I was married for almost 30 years. So at the time I was married, and my wife and I, because of the job she does, she does corporate travel, and we used to stay in a lot of nice hotels. And I remember back then I used to see Bibles in every hotel. Then all of a sudden, I don't see no Bibles in hotels no more. They just disappear, you know? And I wonder, like, okay, all of a sudden, there's no Bibles in school, there's no Bibles in the hotel. Where did they go? Who took them out and why? What was the reason why? You and I know, folks. We the ones that know better. Building the foundation is a hell of a thing, because once you build a foundation, they cannot captivate your mind, because the kid already know in their mind how to differentiate. By the time you reach 12 years old, you know how to differentiate. You know when it's mind control from when it's not. We're living in a mediocre world right now where it's mind controlled and it's just view and clicks and likes on the internet. This young man had a 180 page rant, okay? This young man, Peyton, had a 180 page. Guys, I don't mind writing, but writing a 180 page rant about people of color and what you want to do, all this is premeditated. All of this is premeditated. So we don't need to have no sympathy, none whatsoever, for Mr. Payton, because he had no sympathy for his victims, elderlies that were unharmed, couldn't fight for themselves, couldn't defend themselves. And that's what pisses me off. You went to the unharmed elderlies that couldn't defend themselves, like my grandmother, like myself, people in their 50s, in their 60s, you went out there and you took advantage of them, Now, how you think we should, come on, man, seriously. You need to be executed like right away. I mean, God forgive them, but hey, in China, they put you in front of the firing squad, man. And for you young folks who deal with this shit, with all this nonsense, narratives and rhetoric, you need to be in front of a firing squad. And you need to be in front of a firing squad where you're shot to death, let you suffer the same way you let other people suffer. Because you don't need to be no place on this earth. Another sad thing about this case, this shooting was streamed live on Twitch. Twitch was owned by Amazon. Okay? Twitch is owned by Amazon. Jeff Bezos. Okay, that owned Blue Origin, the spaceship, Jeff Bezos. All right, that owned the spaceship. Twitch is owned by him. And the shooting was streamed on Twitch Live. Okay? That doesn't mean that Jeff have anything to do with this. He just owned Twitch. But what I'm saying, it was able to stream on Twitch Live. So this is how these young folks are going today. You're committing a massacre, okay? And it's been streamed live on the air. So now everything becomes social media live stream. You're doing something to somebody, you're committing some harm to somebody, it's streaming live stream. That's how you get off. That's how you get your own whatever you get. That's how you fulfill your needs, by streaming somebody torturing, some savageness, some unthinkable stuff that you're doing to human being, streaming live on Twitch. And shame on you, Twitch. You should have shut that down. Streaming. Shame on you, Twitch, for having that go on for a while. Shame on you. You should have shut that down as soon as it started, because this is just so not right. And what these young folks are doing today is just atrocious because of the social media lifestyle. And let me tell you something, young folks. This social media, this YouTube, all of this is an illusion. All of this is an illusion. Hoop, hoop, yeah, yeah. Illusion. It's an illusion. So wise up. Wise up, young folks. Right now you see where the federal government are giving out RICO acts left and right. Before I go any further, I want to take a moment of silence for all the family members, all the families, all the 10 victims in Buffalo, and also the victims in California. We're going to take a moment of silence. May you all rest in paradise. May you all rest in paradise. Evil is just so fucked up around this world. It just brings tears to my eyes. I don't know what's going on with our world today. The young folks, what they're doing, their agenda, their beliefs, their narratives. They're being getting by all these outlets of media. That's just focus on the wrong. People are going to profit from doing the wrong. Right now, evil, there's more profit in evil than good. And I don't understand that. And there's a lot of people right now are succumbing to the evil because the satanic way, the evil way is more profitable. You know, they lose their morals. You know, they lose their beliefs. You know, they lose what they stand for, what they stood for. They succumb to anything that brings in a cash value and depreciate and diminish human lives, their livelihood, their well-beings, their quality of lives. This is insane. To report stuff like this, man, it's insane. It's heart-wrenching. It's tough. Sad all over. We're going through places where you see the media talking about baby formula shortage. So many youngsters having babies and they have to worry about formula. A war going on in the Ukraine where our government is funding profusely while people in America are starving. It's just so much. So much. And people are tired. I've been tired. We have to catch these mental people and try to help them. Try to help them in their mental state. This young man probably could have been helped since high school when he had made those first threats. Instead of looking at him for 3-4 hours, you could have given him a thorough evaluation and pinpoint where the problem was and help this young man, and we could have saved 10 lives in Buffalo, New York. That's how important the help is when it comes on to mental health. This is absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely. Absolutely. I am lost for words because, folks, knowing the fact that this was streamed online, it's just the way it's showing you how the world have changed, where you could commit all these acts of evil streaming online for people to watch. How dare you? How dare you? I've seen enough of this and I've seen it all. But folks, as I say today, mark my word. It's not the last of this, what we're seeing. The year 2022, at least another 20 or 30 more mass murders to come in this country. Believe me, folks, when I tell you, mental health is at a rise, high peak. It's an epidemic in America, mental health. We need to catch it, address it, and curb it. Because if we don't, we're going to feel the wrath of these young people rebelling from their mental health situation and their state. I am not saying that this young man was any form of any mental illness, but because in high school he had that one issue, the one episode, that's the reason why I am saying what I'm saying tonight. But you guys have to also understand this young man, this young man, he was also infatuated with a murder, a massacre in New Zealand. He was also infatuated with the massacre in New Zealand that killed 52 people. He watched that over and over. He left a manifesto, really, of what he watched, what he liked to, because the feds is in everything. What you watch, you can't hide it. So he watched all these things over and over. Massacres, mass shootings, stuff, et cetera, et cetera. And also, he was in tactical gear when he came into the food store, so he was well harmed. That's why when the when the security cop tried to, put him down, it didn't work because it was in armored gear, like bulletproof vests and stuff like that. And that's why it was able to, assassinate the guard, because the guard apparently didn't have no protective vest. And Mr. Payton had on tactical gears. So he didn't succumb to his wounds from what the security guard let off on him. He bounced back. He let off rounds on the security guard. And the security guard succumbed to his wounds. So this man came premeditated, folks. Premeditated. Ready for war. I'm sure he bought some of his stuff online illegally, but one of his guns he had bought legally. And I'm telling you, I also heard he had a Bushmaster because from what I understand, he had 3 guns with him. Hey, WM, what's going on? He had 3 guns with him, okay? One of the guns was a Bushmaster that was modified. And that gun fired just like an AK-47 when it's modified. He had that one plus 2 other guns. And then from the massacre that he committed in Buffalo, he had the intention of going to other places to commit the same atrocity if he wasn't stopped by quick-thinking police officers. He was going to move on to different district, different neighborhood, and commit the same atrocity. So we have to look in this young man's mindset at 18 years old. What was he thinking? What is he thinking? Is he stable enough for you to question him? Because, folks, this is just atrocious. This is horrendous. Horrendous, for real. At age 18, I am seeing so many kids committing these acts of evil. And I keep asking why. But still yet, we can't get the answer from these kids. What they do online, they modified other, and they glorified, like, for example, the Columbine Massacre. You have some of these kids glorify the Columbine Massacre. You see it happens. They follow suit. You have kids glorify other things that they see online, follow other doctrines. You have kids that get indoctrinated into places like the Ku Klux Klan and also other racist groups that want to create rampage on civilized people. So there's a lot of outlets for these youngsters to get indoctrinated with and baptized in nothing but hate. And then once they baptized and reach a stage of maturity, that's when they unleash their hate on this world. And that's very sad, Because you have to look at this, folks. It's nothing but mind controlled. Because once you control someone's mind, you can have them do any and everything. Once you control someone's mind, you can have them do any and everything. And what these young folks don't understand is right now, systematically, they're using mind control on folks. We have to learn how to differentiate, also learn how to navigate from what they're dispersing upon us in the media, also a lot of things on social media. Because, like I said before, folks, a lot of things on social media is nothing but an illusion. So don't get caught up in social media. Have your own life, your own faith, your own belief. Follow the doctrine of yourself or your family. That's positive. Not these atheists, I'm going to say it, atheists, and what they're doing in this world, corrupting this world in every which way. And I'm going to tell you where it started from, but not today. Not today. Another day. I don't want to get into that right now. I'm going to tell you where it started from, but another day. But these people enforce all these things, and now you see where the world is consuming it at a high rate, and they're also dispersing it at a high rate. And that's why you see the confusion. What you see going on in this world is nothing but a big confusion. Young folks are confused, naive, stressed out, manipulated, brainwashed. Some of them are just off the wire because of mental health. And don't forget, we have just been through a plague, still going through the plague, CV-19, the biological plague. And it's still going to be up on an uprising. It's going to start back up soon on an uprising because you see what's happening in China, Beijing, all these big cities that are shut down in China. Some of the biggest cities in the world are shut down in China because of the plague. So you have to ask yourself this question. You see how the uprising is going on in the plague in America. When is it going to be full-fledged again? It's just a matter of time. Everything is all strategic. All strategic. You see, what happened is that what they did with the war is navigate you. When I said navigate you, I mean put your focus on the war and also on other things while they plan the second episode of the unleashment of this biological weapon upon us on this earth. Because you have to understand, this young man in Buffalo, what did he say? Or what was his narrative? The population, the control of the population. Too many black people. You want to see more white people. Too many black people. Black people are multiplying too much. So he hated that. That was part of his agenda. He hated that. You see, where in Buffalo, people of color have their church, going to church, after church, going to the grocery store, living their lives, having a decent life, living the American life, have their home, whatever, taking others to the grocery store, elders, just trying to be respectful people in the community. And that's what you're going to go ahead and try to, and that's what you're going to go to and create a massacre. People that are doing good, try to help their community, try to better themselves, people of standards, people of morals, grandparents, That's how you take out your weakness? You selfish son of a bitch? You young, non-thinking son of a bitch? You young, need to be executed son of a bitch? These are the pain you cause in these families? For what? Your young hatred? You don't know about hate, young man. You just heard about hate. You've never seen hate. And because you heard about hate, you're going to commit these atrocities on harmless people? What if you had lived through hate? How would you behave? How would you behave if you have to be a person like myself, a person of color? How would you behave? God Almighty. These folks, got to talk to them, man. Seriously. How would you behave? You're killing grandmothers, grandfathers. That's helping the community. That's educating the young ones. That's spreading the word to the young ones. That's setting an example to the young ones. Those are the people you went to massacre? Now you tell me at age 18, how would you know to select a place like that and massacre so many people? Yes, I'm not dumb. I know it was orchestrated. But we have to also understand, was there some other people behind this young man? Did he have people behind him, supporting him on his rhetoric? We have to dig deeper than what's going on, folks. And I'm being very honest and serious. Did this young man have people behind him to commit this atrocity in the supermarket? This massacre in the supermarket? Did he have people behind him that fund him to buy those guns? Beside his parents? Did he have people that fund him with his rhetoric, his racist remarks, his racist antics online? Did he get funded? Was he galvanized by all these people on these sites, these racist, sites that preach racism? Was he galvanized by Fox News and their rhetoric, how they look at people? Was he galvanized by Fox News? Was he galvanized by the rhetoric on YouTube? Was he galvanized by the rhetoric on Twitch? Was he galvanized on the rhetoric on Instagram? Was he galvanized by the rhetoric on Facebook? What transformed this young man into a demon? Because that's pretty much what he transformed into. A demon. A demon that needed to be, where? Put in front of a firing squad. Yes, I said it. Put you right in front of a firing squad. Shit. Fire! Shoot! Yeah. But you know what? They're not going to kill you right away. They're going to shoot you in the arms and your legs. And then they're going to let all the family members come around you with a razor. You know what a razor cut feel like? And slice you to the hardest with a razor. All what they feel inside of them, they slice you all over your abdomen, all over your body. Slice you with razor blades and let you slowly bleed out. Let you wish you weren't born. These acts of evil, sometimes you have to treat them that way, because you know why? When people see you treat them that way, they will second guess to do these nonsense. And then, folks, to have this thing stream on Twitch, live stream. Why are you doing a massacre? It's unheard of. It's unheard of. An 18-year-old child. Yeah, because I have two kids, folks. My oldest is 30 years old. high school teacher. My son, 28 years old, a fuck up. I tell it like it is. Yeah. But I love him dearly. I mean, he don't get in these type of trouble, but he's just a fuck up, you know. Yeah. He's where he is, you know, because of his fuck up. When you commit a crime, you have to pay the time. That's how I see it. If it's my kids or somebody's kids, hey, it is what it is. That goes for everyone. Everyone. And I do my researches thoroughly, folks. Thoroughly. And for this young man at age 18, I am baffled. I am baffled. You know why? Because at age 18, what are you doing with so much hate inside of you? Instead of living your life, having a girlfriend, you know, thinking about college, thinking about your future, thinking about what your future might look like, thinking about you have the capability of becoming the next president, thinking about you have the capability of becoming the next big sergeant in the military, thinking about all those attributes, and yet still you want to commit this atrocity on humanity? And the funny thing about it is, guys, I don't understand. He was arrested. Peyton was arrested without a scratch. Without a scratch. This young man walked into the jail, not even a scratch on him, after he had just assassinated 10 people and wounded 13 others. He walked into the jailhouse without a scratch on him. I remember in Orlando, Florida, when Marquise Lloyd was wanted for killing a police officer and his girlfriend. When he got caught, he lost an eye. Then they kicked one of his eye out, allegedly. You know, yeah. They beat him so bad he lost the eye. Marquise Lloyd, a black guy. The police beat him so bad he lost the eye. So I don't understand how Mr. Payton walked into this police precinct without a scratch. That's another thing. Preferential treatment. White preference. Such a fucking shame. After you assassinated 10 people and you wounded 13 people, you walk into the police station nonchalant, not even a scratch. The sign of the times. Absolutely, life. The sign of the times. But I'm still baffled. I am still baffled, my friend. Because every day I look at it and say, okay, it might get better tomorrow, it might get better next week or next month or whatever. Okay, maybe these kids wake up because they know that if they do this, they're going to prison or whatever. These kids today don't give a shit about prison. When I was growing up, I was afraid of jailhouse, afraid of the penitentiary. These kids today, they are not afraid of going to prison. That's what scares me. They are not scared of going to prison. That is very sad. These kids today are not scared of going to prison. So they do the unthinkables and they go sit down and glorify what they did with their friends. That is very sad. That is very sad. That's very sad. Don't forget the Cash App, folks. $ Raymond Nugent. Also my super chat, everything is available. You can hit me up if you want to. Support the channel, support the machine. Let's keep it growing better and better and bigger every day. From a different view, different perspectives, every time. Keep it real, raw, authentic. No disrespect, but that's how I keep my channel. Keep it simple, but at the same time, keep it so factual and real because you have to do your fact checks on these channels, especially when you're going live, doing all these type of different shows. You have to make sure you fact check everything, so everything is copacetic. Yeah, so everything is copacetic. It's crazy, man. We shouldn't have to be going through all these things. I think Corona would have gave us a waking up call because of people seeing what they saw in front of their eyes. I think that would have gave us a more, so we could at least be more mindful. But I guess not.
Night where at least 10 people have been shot and killed at a grocery store in Buffalo.
It is no longer an active shooting, with the suspected gunman now in police custody. Reporter Ed Dranch from WKBW has been on the scene all afternoon. Here's a little bit of what he has witnessed.
Inside the supermarket, many of them are at a loss. Many of them are going home without their relatives tonight. Many of these people inside just doing their food shopping. It's unfathomable that somebody would come in here and open fire. Police are asking you to stay away from this scene, but obviously many people who have a connection here are inevitably drawn to the scene to try and develop information in real time. This area in particular is a community. This is a place not too far from a firehouse, from a fire station. And obviously, when we talk about the gun issue that we've all been seeing across the country, Buffalo is not immune to that. We've seen a number of shootings. And of course, when it comes down to the idea of gun violence, Buffalo has certainly seen its fair share. I want you to take a look at these black vehicles that are coming in here with their four ways flashing, those minivans.
So yes, folks, I'm telling you, that was atrocious. I let you hear it. Act of evil. The demons that walk upon this earth at times created some act of evil that we all have to look upon and ask ourselves if this is real. But yeah, it is real.
11 of the victims were black, 2 were white, and 4 of them were store employees. And in the last few hours, the suspect, identified as Peyton Gendron of Conklin, New York, was arraigned on first-degree murder charges. Tonight, Buffalo's mayor expressed the shock his city is feeling.
This is a community where people love each other. The shooter was not from this community. In fact, the shooter traveled hours from outside this community to perpetrate this crime on the people of Buffalo.
Now, law enforcement officials say this was a racially motivated shooting. And I lived in Buffalo for a little over a year and used to go to that top supermarket often. It is very much in a predominantly black neighborhood, a few miles just north of the downtown area. Well, this shooting today may have had many of you wonder.
You see, folks, so it was targeted, racially motivated, targeted. I mean, you hear from the best, from the news reporters and everybody. Targeted shooting in Buffalo, a young man, 18 years old, filled with so much hate that they feel like they need to disperse on the black community, which is so negative, so overwhelming, so leave us breathless in this country. We have seen this so much time and time again, tirelessly. Our government, they so-called speak about modified guns and gun rights, but I don't think they're doing enough. They just send smoke screens to all these gun companies, Smith and West, all these companies, the NRA. Our government is afraid to tackle these guys because you know why, folks? When it comes election time, all these guys are big campaign donors to all of these electors. So they just say, fuck all the people who are dying. Let me worry about my election, my money, my campaign, and what people donate in my campaign. That's what we're voting for, folks. I am not lying. All these son of a bitches, they're nothing but active evil. And I'm tired of being tired. And we need to get rid of them and put people with more substance and people who believe in people, believe in life, believe in love, in power, so we could have a more productive and a more loving society than what we have today. Because what we have today is a society that fuel and hate, a society that gravitate to hate, a society that manifests through hate, a society that profit through hate. Okay? And that's not tolerable in my book, and it shouldn't be tolerable in your book. My name is Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain, the Inner Demon. Before I go, folks, I always say, who feels it, knows it. Don't forget to like and share the stream, folks. My Cash App, $ Raymond Nugent, if you want to contribute. I will appreciate you in advance. But if not, just share the video, like the video, and I'll still appreciate you. My blessings go out to you guys and your family. Have a great Monday afternoon, and have a blessed week. Once again, Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain, the Inner Demon, sign off. Peace.